A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We hope you're doing well. We would like to welcome all of you, of course, with another session, inshallah. Today is the 25th of Ramadan, and we would like to continue our discussion on different topics, which are mainly under the umbrella of Islamic belief system. So let's begin the program with the recitation of Dua Iftidah, inshallah, and then we will discuss the topic that our respected scholar is going to discuss tonight, inshallah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil faraj.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم إني أفتتح الثناء بحمدك وأنت مسدد للصواب بمنك وأيقنت أنك أنت أرحم الراحمين في موضع العفو والرحمة وأشد المعاقبين في موضع النكال والنقمة وأعظم المتجبرين في موضع الكبرياء والعظمة. اللهم أذنت لي في دعائك ومسألتك فاسمع يا سميع مدحتي وأجب يا رحيم دعوتي وأقل يا غفور عثرتي. فكم يا إلهي من كربة قد فرجتها وهموم قد كشفتها وعثرة قد أقلتها ورحمة قد نشرتها وحلقة بلاء قد فككتها. الحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ صاحبة ولا ولدا ولم يكن له شريك في الملك ولم يكن له ولي من الذل وكبره تكبيرا. الحمد لله بجميع محامده كلها على جميع نعمه كلها. الحمد لله الذي لا مضاد له في ملكه ولا منازع له في أمره. الحمد لله الذي لا شريك له في خلقه ولا شبيه له في عظمته. الحمد لله الفاشي في الخلق أمره وحمده الظاهر بالكرم مجده الباسط بالجود يده الذي لا تنقص خزائنه ولا تزيده كثرة العطاء إلا جودا وكرما إنه هو العزيز الوهاب. اللهم إني أسألك قليلا من كثير مع حاجة بي إليه عظيم وغناك عنه قديم وهو عندي كثير وهو عليك سهل يسير. اللهم إن عفوك عن ذنبي وتجاوزك عن خطيئتي وصفحك عن ظلمي وسترك على قبيح عملي وحلمك عن كثير جرمي عندما كان من خطئي وعمدي. أطمعني في أن أسألك ما لا أستوجبه منك الذي رزقتني من رحمتك وأريتني من قدرتك وعرفتني من إجابتك فصرت أدعوك آمنا وأسألك مستأنسا لا خائفا ولا وجلا مدلا عليك فيما قصدت فيه إليك. فإن أبطأ عني أتبت بجهلي عليك ولعل الذي أبطأ عني هو خير لي لعلمك بعاقبة الأمور. فلم أر مولا كريما أصبر على عبد اللئيم منك علي يا رب. إنك تدعوني فأولي عنك وتتحبب إلي فأتبغض إليك وتتودد إلي فلا أقبل منك كأن لي التطول عليك. فلم يمنعك ذلك من الرحمة لي والإحسان إلي والتفضل علي بجودك وكرمك. فارحم عبدك الجاهل وجد عليه بفضل إحسانك، إنك جواد كريم. الحمد لله مالك الملك، مجري الفلك، مسخر الرياح، فالق الإصباح، ديان الدين رب العالمين. الحمد لله على حلمه بعد علمه، والحمد لله على عفوه بعد قدرته، والحمد لله على طول أناته في غضبه، وهو قادر على ما يريد. الحمد لله خالق الخلق، باسط الرزق، فالق الإصباح، ذي الجلال والإكرام والفضل والإنعام، الذي بعد فلا يرى وقرب فشهد النجوى، تباركت وتعالى. الحمد لله الذي ليس له منازع يعادله، ولا شبيه يشاكله، ولا ضجير يعاضده. قهر بعزتك الأعزاء، وتواضع لعظمته العظماء، فبلغ بقدرته ما يشاء. الحمد لله الذي يجيبني حين أنادي، ويستر علي كل عورة وأنا عصي، ويعظم النعمة علي فلا أجاري. فكم من موهبة هنيئة قد أعطاني، وعظيمة مخوفة قد كفاني، وبهجة مونقة قد أراني، وأذكره مسبحا. الحمد لله الذي لا يهتك حجابه، ولا يغلق بابه، ولا يرد سائله، ولا يخيب آمله. الحمد لله الذي يؤمن الخائفين، وينجي الصالحين، ويرفع المستضعفين، ويضع المستكبرين، ويهلك ملوكا ويستخلف آخرين. الحمد لله قاسم الجبارين، مبير الظالمين، مدرك الهاربين، نكال الظالمين، صريخ المستصرخين، موضع حاجات الطالبين، معتمد المؤمنين. الحمد لله الذي من خشيته ترعد السماء وسكانها، وترجف الأرض وعمارها، وتموج البحار ومن يسبح في غمراتها. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا، وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. الحمد لله الذي يخلق ولم يخلق، ويرزق ولا يرزق، ويطعم ولا يطعم، ويميت الأحياء، ويحيي الموتى، وهو حي لا يموت، بيده الخير، وهو على كل شيء قدير. اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك، وأمينك وصفيك، وحبيبك وخيرتك من خلقك، وحافظ سرك، ومبلغ رسالاتك، أفضل وأحسن وأجمل وأكمل وأزكى وأنمى وأطيب وأطهر وأسنى، وأكثر ما صليت وباركت وترحمت وتحننت وسلمت على أحد من عبادك وأنبيائك ورسلك وصفوتك وأهل الكرامة عليك من خلقك. اللهم صل على علي أمير المؤمنين، وصي رسول رب العالمين، عبدك ووليك، وأخي رسولك، وحجتك على خلقك، وآيتك الكبرى، والنبأ العظيم. وصل على الصديقة الطاهرة فاطمة سيدة نساء العالمين. وصل على سبطي الرحمة إمامي الهدى الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة. وصل على أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين، ومحمد بن علي، وجعفر بن محمد، وموسى بن جعفر، وعلي بن موسى، ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والخلف الهادي المهدي، حججك على عبادك وأمنائك في بلادك صلاة كثيرة دائمة. اللهم صل على ولي أمرك القائم المؤمل والعدل المنتظر، وحفه بملائكتك المقربين، وأيده بروح القدس يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعله الداعي إلى كتابك والقائم بدينك، استخلفه في الأرض كما استخلفت الذين من قبله، مكن له دينه الذي ارتضيته له، أبدله من بعد خوفه أمنا، يعبدك لا يشرك بك شيئا. اللهم أعزه وأعزز به، وانصره وانتصر به، وانصره نصرا عزيزا، وافتح له فتحا يسيرا، واجعل له من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا. اللهم اظهر به دينك وسنة نبيك حتى لا يستخفي بشيء من الحق مخافة أحد من الخلق. اللهم إنا نرغب إليك في دولة كريمة تعز بك الإسلام وأهله، وتذل بك النفاق وأهله، وتجعلنا فيها من الدعاة إلى طاعتك والقادة إلى سبيلك، وترزقنا بها كرامة الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم ما عرفتنا من الحق فحملنا، وما قصرنا عنه فبلغنا. اللهم المم به شعثنا، واشعب به صدعنا، وارتق به فتقنا، وكثر به قلتنا، واعزز به ذلتنا، واغن به عائلنا، واقض به مورمنا، واجبر به فقرنا، وسد به خلتنا، ويسر به عسرنا، وبيض به وجوهنا، وفك به أسرانا، وأنجح به طلبتنا، وانجز به مواعيدنا، واستجب به دعوتنا، وأعطنا به سولنا، وبلغنا به من الدنيا والآخرة آمالنا، وأعطنا به فوق رغبتنا يا خير المسؤولين وأوسع المعطين. اشف به صدورنا، واذهب به غيظ قلوبنا، واهدنا به لما اختلف فيه من الحق بإذنك، إنك تهدي من تشاء إلى صراط مستقيم. وانصرنا به على عدوك وعدونا إله الحق آمين. اللهم إنا نشكو إليك فقد نبينا صلواتك عليه وآله، وغيبة ولينا، وكثرة عدونا، وقلة عددنا، وشدة الفتن بنا، وتظاهر الزمان علينا. فصل على محمد وآله، وعنا على ذلك بفتح منك تعجله، وبضر تكشفه، ونصر تعزه، وسلطان حق تظهره، ورحمة منك تجللناها، وعافية منك تلبسناها، برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
آمين या रब्बिल आलमीन। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद वअज्जिल फरजहुम। मुहतरम बिरादरान व खाहिरान, एक मरतबा फिर आपको माह मुबारक रमज़ान की आज 25वें शब के मौका पर खुशामदीद कहते हैं। और इंशाअल्लाह आगा मुहतरम सैयद फरहत अब्बास साहब जो कि हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं, वो अपनी गुफ्तगू का इंशाअल्लाह कुछ ही लम्हों में आगाज़ फरमाएंगे। और इससे पहले कि मैं उनको दावत खिताब दूँ, मैं तमाम शुरकाए महफिल व मजलिस से गुजारिश करना चाहूँगा कि आज के इस प्रोग्राम के लिए हमारे साथ जिन मोमिनीन व मोमिनात ने ताउन किया है, उनके मरहूमीन के इसाले सवाब के लिए 1 मरतबा सूरह अल-फातिहा और 3 मरतबा सूरह इखलास की तिलावत फरमा दीजिए। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन, अर्रहमानिर्रहीम, इय्याका नअबुदु व इय्याका नस्तईन, सिरातल लज़ीना, बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद वअज्जिल फरजहुम। सिर्फ आगा साहब से के शुरू करने से पहले आप मोमिन मोमिनात को एक थोड़ा सा, जब तक आगा साहब इंशाल्लाह खुतबा से आगाज फरमाएंगे तो आपको बताते चलें कि आज के मौजू में आगा साहब क्या डिस्कस करने वाले हैं। एक क्वेश्चन अगेन जो कि आगा साहब के स्क्रीन पे शेयर करने वाले हैं। सो देयर वी गो, वी हैव इट ऑल देयर। सो ओवर टू यू आगा साहब। अस्सलाम वालेकुम व रहमतुल्लाह।
जी वालेकुम अस्सलाम व रहमतुल्लाह। औज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम, बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन, अस्सलातु वस्सलामु अला सय्यिदिल अंबिया'i वल मुरसलीन व अला आलिहि तय्यबीन अत्ताहिरीन, सियमा बक़ियतिल्लाहि फिल अर्दीन व लानतुल्लाहि अला आदाइहिम अजमईन मिनल आन इला यौमिद्दीन। सल्लु अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद, अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद वअज्जिल फरजहुम। Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So inshallah, today we're going to discuss one of the most important doubt which basically atheists and non-believer they put against believers, and that doubt is, and I'm going to represent them, and you need to answer. I like all the young people, they need to answer this part. Question is this: is it not that you say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all powerful? Is it not that you say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is inna Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir, that indeed Allah is capable of everything, everything. And again, we discuss this everything, which is doable and have this ordinary impossibility. Now, if that's the case, if Allah is all powerful, why He's not stopping all these crimes happening? That's number one. If Allah is, let's say, is capable, but then we also claim that maybe He's capable. Sometimes there are people, they are capable, but they are unaware what's going on. They are unaware what's going on in the world. Let's say there is a very powerful person. He's a governor of a town. He's very capable, but let's say he was sleeping at night when the crime happened, or he was out of town when the crime happened. So which means he was capable to stop the crime, but then he didn't have a knowledge. So, but the problem is that we also said that inna Allaha bikulli shay'in alim. Allah is knowledgeable for everything. Allah is knowledgeable, which means it's not like that governor of the town who was sleeping. Allah doesn't sleep. Who can tell me which ayah is talking about that Allah doesn't sleep? Can anyone help? Young people? And I can give you a hint if you want. Allah cannot sleep. Anyone? I can give you the hint. It's about Ayatul Kursi. All right. You guys listening? Today it seems like people are tired. It's the 25th of Ramadan. So anyone can share, if you could open up the Quran and read Ayat al-Kursi, elder they can help to the young people. Allah, it says that Allah doesn't sleep, doesn't even take a nap. It's not that someone is napping. Like, let's say I'm sitting here, I just take a nap. All right, even for that short moment, I'm not aware what's going on in my surrounding. Is Allah like that? Exactly. So okay, let's go read that Ayatul Kursi together, right? Allahu la ilaha illa huwal hayyul qayyum la ta'khudhuhu sinatum wala nawm. This ayah. That nawm in Arabic mean sleep. Very good, Mahamita. Neither drownness, like, okay, napping, or like, it's like for senatun wala nom. He's all awake. He never sleep. Right? And by the way, I can give you this information. You know why you see the dream? Because your soul never sleep as well. Human soul never sleep. It's our body which sleep. Okay? That's why our soul is awake and seeing dreams every night. Okay? Whether you realize or not, but then we do see the dreams every night. Okay? Why? Because soul is awake. Non-material beings, they don't sleep. Malaika, they don't sleep. And angels, they don't sleep. Allah doesn't sleep. Your soul, no sleep for the soul. All right. So, Inna Allaha bikulli shay'in alim. So, all right. So, our claim is Inna Allaha ala kulli shay'in qadir. Allah is all powerful. And again, we already discussed that for the last 2 days, that qadir doesn't mean logical impossibility. We are not talking about that. It says ordinary impossibilities or like a doable things. I mean, stopping a crime is a doable thing. Stopping a crime is a doable thing. Is it not? Maybe it's not. Okay, let me check. All right. And then he's Alim, is all knowledgeable. Then why these crimes are happening? Well, maybe he doesn't care. Is that the case? He doesn't care? I mean, he says, oh, who cares? I'm so busy. You know, sometimes people, they are powerful. Like, let's say there was a governor of a town is capable to stop the crime. And he's knowledgeable. I mean, he was in fact, he was sitting in front of that camera, and that the cameras, they're capturing the live images. But then again, he says, oh, who cares? I'm tired. This has nothing to do with me. Is that what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is? He says, no, Allah is not like this. Remember this ayah? Inna Allaha bin nase la ra'ufur rahim. Indeed, Allah is to the people kind and merciful. Sayyid Salman is trying to answer this. Okay, yes. I appreciate your response, Sayyid Salman. But let's wait. Okay. So yeah. So again, are you saying that you're saying that Allah is kind, Allah is all powerful, Allah is all knowledgeable? Then why is not stopping it? Salman gave a very good answer, that Allah gives us an opportunity to choose between right and wrong. Yes. Yeah. But then the atheists, they don't satisfy with these things. He says, well, you know what? If he's kind, let's say you give an option to your children that they do right and wrong, but then you still stop your child from doing a wrong thing. Right? you still stop. Let's say if the elder brother is hitting his younger brother or sibling, you still stop him. Is not Allah that much kind? All right. Who can answer that part? Let me read something, an objection from atheist. Okay. This objection is from an atheist. He said, okay, everyone pay attention. Very, very emotional statement he's talking about. He said, from the childhood, they inject in my whole or in our whole being about sweet theisms. Sweet theism means that you believe that about God. Believing in God. He said that, again, this is the atheist. He said from the childhood, I'm born as a Muslim or as a Christian or as a Jew. And from the childhood, they inject in our whole being this idea of theism. Believe in God. God is all powerful. God is all kind. God is all knowledgeable. Is eternal, merciful, just, and blah, 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 blah. But then he said, but I am an atheist. Because he said, I saw the pain. I saw the poverty. I saw the loneliness of children. I saw and fought. Pay attention to that part. He said that, look, I'm an atheist. You know why? Yeah, from the childhood, they inject this ideology of theism in our whole being. We are brought up with this ideology, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we see around pain and poverty and crime, even with the children. He says, look, I'm an atheist because I saw that and I stood up. I stood up. But then, and who am I? I'm not even capable compared to God. I fought just when God Almighty saw and was silent. He says, oh my God, that hurt. I mean, I saw and I fought. God saw and he stays silent. He sees and his justice remains silent and does nothing. Now he's asking, is it really possible that there is such an unkind and unjust God? Maybe he doesn't exist. All right, what's the answer? He's attacking, right? All right. Young people, you guys have to defend, okay? I'm taking side of the atheist right now, okay? And again, remember this. Remember all of you again. If you're not planning to attend tomorrow, you can drop off right now because you can have doubts in your mind, okay? Participate and be with us today and tomorrow so we can get the answer completely. Otherwise, you may have just the doubts, okay? We may, in this discussion, may create some doubts in your mind. That's why, all right, try to be there tomorrow and today completely and pay attention. It's not just you're just listening like doubt and you says, yeah, he's right. And then you're just talking with someone else or watching something else or watching on the phone something. All right, let's see. Again, say Salman said that Allah gave us an opportunity to choose between right and wrong. Yes, yeah, that's right. Again, I thought I saw message from Jarir also. Yeah, so, and the other one is saying Allah is giving us a test in this world. Jarir Abbas. Okay, that's Jarir here. Jari Abbas, sorry, not Jari. Jari Abbas. And then Quran is a book of humanity, and it displays all the right and wrong and the rewards and consequences. That's right. These are good answers. Would it kind of be the logic when you have a test of what you commit? Allah has given us a guidance and given us a choice. Now it's up to us, the choice we make. Okay. So these are good answers, but really, can you satisfy the atheist? He's answering. All right, but we don't need to. We don't need to that. Very good. Very good. All right. We are getting a good answers. That's very nice. I'm very happy. All right. Let me put some pictures so other people can also involve. I hope other people will join as well and involve and participate. Guys, that's a serious issue, okay? I hope that all of you will involve, okay? I already gave you this objection from an atheist. Now let's see. You see this, right? You saw this crime, right? I'm pretty sure you all of you saw it in the news. That this guy, George Floyd, got killed by this Derek Chauvin, something like that. Why didn't God stop him? Or what about this? A child who's blind? What did you do wrong that God made him blind? What about this? It's a picture of where? Everyone, all of you know, right? This is a picture of? Picture from? Yeah, child in Yemen. Yes. Okay. What about this? What's going on here? Seems like an earthquake, yeah. So why didn't God stop that? What is this? Flood. So, all right. So again, like in flood, there are thousands of people. They lost their houses, their properties, and some of them they lost their children and their pet. And also, like in earthquake, same thing. Several people got killed. Why didn't God stop all these evils? Is all capable? Either you can call him is not capable, or is all knowledgeable. Maybe he's not knowledgeable, and you call him that he's Rauf. He's all very kind and merciful. And why this is happening? All right. So one Muhammad Rizvi said that exam from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, trial from Allah. Yeah, these are the good answers. No, but then again, The atheist says, well, you know what? I don't want trial. Why Allah is asking a trial from me? I don't want trial. Why trial at the cost of the children? Why trial at the cost of like all my possession is gone in flood? What's the answer? But very good. I like all of your answers. Human greedy nature, in the life we all go through challenges which are like tests from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Since our possessions are from Allah, then they are not really ours. Jari Abbas, very good, mashallah. All right. Anyone else like to participate? All right, let's move on. All right, meaning of good and evil. That's important. What's the meaning of good? All right, what's the meaning of good? Being nice? That's good, try. What else? Doing an action which leads to reward. That's also good. Again, but that's, well, maybe good, if you can define good. Let's see. Yeah, that's something which can give us a feeling of happiness and kindness, guidance towards nature. Okay, come back then, faster. Okay. All right. Kind towards nature, feeling of happiness, not being bad. Or like the good, the evil is opposite of good, good is opposite of evil, right? Now, first of all, we need to not being bad. Yes. Yeah. All right, let me share something with you, okay? So first of all, we need to, if we need to answer this, okay? There are several questions under one question. All right, now you need to pay attention, and maybe you want to take a notes, because you have to, you young people have to answer all these things, okay? So the question, there are several questions within one question. When we talk about, it's a big topic, and it's been there for centuries also, okay? Like they're talking about, they're talking about the evil. So they says that even like they created the religion based on this concept of evils, because some people, they said it's impossible that God, with all this kindness, with all this power, with all this knowledge, he can still, he can be he can allow all these crimes. So some people, they come up with this another idea. He says, what about, there are two gods in this world? There are two, the God of, again, because the question was, can God can create evil? Okay, what's the answer, guys? First of all, can God create evil? Can God create evil? One answer is no. He can technically. Like what kind of evil? so, so are we saying he can create evil or not create evil? This was a long discussion. Again, for centuries we have that. So some people, this is, it's impossible for God to create an evil because he's all kind. He's just khair. That's all. This is then, again, then when we see, but we see the evil around us. That's why it is possible that there are two gods, God of good and gods of evil. When someone created the shaitan, right? Maybe that God of evil, he created shaitan. And the God of goodness, he created prophets. All these bad guys, they are on the side of God of evil. And you know, in Indian, this Hindu ideology, they have something like that. You know, that Kali, that statue of Kali, that's like a mother of all the evil, right? If I understand correctly. Maybe someone have more knowledge about Hinduism and they can explain. But then again, there was like one religion. I'm not talking about Hinduism, but then there is a religion. The religion was that they call in Arabic Thanawiye, which means they believe in two God. God of goodness and God of evil. And they even give the name to the God. This is Yazdan is the God of good. And Ahriman is the creator of evil. They created like two gods. This is, in this world, there are two gods. Because we see goodness and we see evil. And the goodness came from Yazdan. Again, that's a Persian word. And then the evil, the creator is Ahriman. They have this ideology. But again, Islam reject this ideology because we believe in Tawheed. We believe in oneness of God. There are good answers that are coming from the young people. I'm very happy. And again, like Maham mentioned, Allah created Shaitan as Iblis, but Iblis turned into Shaitan. Yeah, that's right. And Ali and Sayyid Salman, they are also participating. They are good answers. I'm going to answer these things, okay? Now, in order to understand, yeah, I was talking about this. That one thing has several issues. Number one was who created evil. So they says, well, there definitely. Some people say, no, evil there is non-existence. Evil is not. Evil is the absence of goodness. That's all. Okay. So we said, all right, let's define good and evil. Some people define goodness, which can give us pleasure and happiness, like some of them, some of you basically mentioned. That's something which can create happiness and pleasure. That's good. Something which is like painful and unhappiness, that's evil. Is that the right definition? Very good. Sorry, Salman made very, very good answer. Some of the people also find happiness in doing a bad thing. Like some people, they are taking drugs, and for that moment, they are feeling good. So is that drug is khair or is it shar? Is it good or is it bad? Bad. Very good. Very good. So this simple definition that goodness means anything which can bring happiness or pleasure is a good, or anything which is not pleasant, it's an evil. Okay? It's an evil. Now let's look at the Islamic one. I didn't get a chance to make slide for this one because this Prezi which I make slide, it doesn't accept the non-English or Arabic characters. So for that I have to go through an engineering, which is like I have to create an image and then I can import that image over there. So that's why I didn't get a chance to do that. Let me share this. Maybe tomorrow I'm going to bring it so you'll get the picture. So let's define, first of all, what is evil meaning, okay? So let's go check with Ahlul Bayt. You know, Ahlul Bayt, they have every knowledge and they can explain everything. Now, this will help our problem. Okay, for some reason, I keep getting distracted. Actually, someone died here in Houston, and that these people, they're trying to contact me. That's why I'm getting distracted by the messages also. So where were I? Okay, when I said this question, basically creating a several question. Number one is like, who created evil? Who created good? Of course, God created good. Evil, they have differentiate. And they talk about like also, is it like, can you justify evil in the presence of the justice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? That's another topic completely. Like all these pictures you saw that George Floyd got killed, is it okay? Can you justify the justice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with all this flood? So that's another question. And then other thing is, why God? Does God exist? Maybe, or is it really you're saying that God was omnipotent? Maybe he's not omnipotent. Maybe he's not all aware. Maybe he's not all kind. These are the different questions. So again, we will go through, attack all these questions with a systematic, in a mathematical form. In a mathematical form, you define things first, which means the first thing you will define that says, what is goodness? What is evil? Okay. And the first statement I'm bringing from Amirul Mu'minin. Again, we start with Amirul Mu'minin. What can we do? Because he's Babul-Ilm, right? What's the meaning of Babul-Ilm, guys? Babul-Ilm mean? Gate of the knowledge. Yeah. So let's enter from the gate of the knowledge. Imam Ali. I love Imam Ali, man. It's just, oh my God. Imam is explaining evil. He said, Ma sharra basharin Ma sharrun besharrin ba'dahul jannah. Okay, let me explain this. Ma is like negative, okay? Ma sharrun, that thing is not evil. Bishar ba'dahul jannah. After that, you will get paradise. That's not evil. Imam said that's not evil. And then Imam is explaining khair also. He says, وَمَا خَيْرٌ بِخَيْرٍ بَعْدَهُ النَّارِ. And he says, if you're defining a goodness will be, that goodness is not a goodness which end up to be in hellfire. So, how many of you remember that we talk about Stephen Covey last Ramadan? Do you remember? And we talk about over there, Stephen Covey, that begin with the end in mind, right? What was that habit number? Habit number 2, right? Yeah, habit number 2, yeah. So begin with the end in mind. Begin with the end in mind. Amirul Mu'minin is using the same thing. Look, this guy, Stephen Covey, got this wisdom from somewhere, right? maybe from prophets, maybe from Amirul Mu'mineen. Like Amirul Mu'mineen said, if you really like to know something which is shar, let's see where you end up. What's the end? If the end is in Jannah, that's actually not shar. That's actually not an evil. And you're saying khair. If you end up, okay, like for example, all of us, we see $1 million, like if I have like $1 billion, that's goodness for me. Oh my God, I won the lottery. Like someone was screaming, I won the lottery. I wish I will win the lottery. Right? Imam said, oh, maybe that $1 million will take me to the hellfire. Imam said, that's not khair. Who said that's goodness? The Imam is giving a criteria. All right, now you need to remember this, okay? Ma sharrun beshar. Tomorrow I'm gonna. I hope I'll get some chance and I will bring this. I will make this slide for you. Ma sharrun besharrin ba'dahul jannah. That shar is not a shar if in the end there is a jannah. Wa ma khairun bekhairin ba'dahun nar. And that khair is not a khair. That goodness is not a goodness if it end up in hellfire. See, begin with the end in mind. End in mind, which means right now we are defining the shar, looking at the end of that action. If this end up in hellfire, it's not khair. If something look like a shar, if it end up in like goodness or in the paradise, then that's the khair. Okay, you got it? That's number one. Again, there are other ahadiths too. Again, like Amirul Mu'mineen also said this thing, La ta'uddanna khayra ma adraka bihi sharra. Do not consider any khair which will end up giving you shar. La ta'uddanna sharra ma adrakta bihi khayra. Again, same thing. Like, let's say, let me give you this example. Again, let's go to the Stephen Covey's book, right? Let's say I'm watching soccer match. I'm enjoying it, right? But if because of watching in my exams and at the time which I'm supposed to study, if I end up getting a bad grades in school or college, then that action of watching was actually shar. See, begin with the end in mind. The second one also, Amirul Mu'mineen said, La ta'uddanna khayra ma adrakta bihi sharra. Do not consider anything good if it will end up in evil. And again, the opposite is also said. Do not consider anything evil, it will end up to be khair. And again, now, you also know that, yes, the consequence of the action defined if the action is good or bad. That consequence, you can say that, or maybe you said the end result, okay? Because maybe sometime we may not be able to. That's why Amirul Mu'mineen in the first hadith, he was very clear. Look for the Jannah, right? Let me ask you this. George Floyd, right? He was madloom, right? And again, he may not have any ibadah, anything, right? Is it not that he may end up in paradise? Right? So, again, we have these ahadiths where we'll discuss this later on. Otherwise, the sequence will be broken. All right. And so again, we need to question about evil and goodness. Okay. Like in ayah of Quran, وَعَسَىٰ أَن تَكْرَهُ شَيْئًا وَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ وَعَسَىٰ أَن تُحِبُّ شَيْئًا وَهُوَ شَرٌّ لَكُمْ وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ أَنْتَ لَا تَعْلَمُ. Right? This ayah, you heard that. that asa sometime an takrahu shay'a, that you have you don't like something, shay'a, something. In reality, huwa khairun lakum, that's good for you. Like some people, they do not understand the philosophy of fasting. Sometimes they say, Mom, I don't like fasting because I feel thirsty, I feel hungry. All right, I'm not saying that murder of the George Floyd was not evil. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying from which angle you're looking. If you're looking from this angle, it may be an evil. It may be looking from the George Floyd angle, maybe that was a goodness for him. The way he was spending his life, he was almost going towards hellfire. But then because he became madloom, Allah will maybe kind with him. Okay? So depending on from which angle you're watching, I'm not justifying evil in this world. And again, I'm not saying that, all right, evil is okay. Not at all. Not at all. I'm just saying right now, you know, the paradigm, yeah, someone mentioned the paradigm. I think Ali mentioned paradigms, yeah. That depending on from which paradigm you're looking, right? Remember that picture I shared with you, that one paradigm that was like a 35 years lady, and other paradigm from other picture, it was like a 70 years, 75 years old lady. Depending on from which paradigm you're looking. But again, I'm not at all saying that that was not evil. That was an evil act by that cop. He was not supposed to do that. He was not supposed to do that. It's definitely an evil act from him. But again, right now, we are at the where we basically explaining the shar, the meaning of shar. And there are several other. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Wala, another ayah, وَلَا يَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ يَبْخَلُونَ بِمَا أَتَلْهُمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ. Do not, the people, Allah gave them from their blessing, and at that time they are like doing bukhl, they're stingy. Right? Well, and again, they should not think, what they're thinking that it's khair for them. But Allah saying, Bal huwa sharrun lahum, it's an evil for them. They're thinking it's good. They're saving their money. Allah said it's bad. So again, that's the first thing that we are talking about. Define the evil. Now let's go some on the slide, okay? All right, let's go back here. All right. All right. What's the meaning of evil and good? We talk about that. Let's categorize the evil. How many kind of evil we can think of? Can you consider, now I need an answer from all of you. Can you consider death an evil thing? Just the death, okay? Just the death, not the death by which mean. I'm not saying the murder, or I'm not talking about anything. Why no? Why not? Why no? Very good. I like the answer. This is the right answer. Yeah, it's not an evil. But why not? It's natural. Yes. I mean, everyone has to die. Right? Everyone has to die. Death is a transformation from one life to other one. Again, let me ask you this. What is the meaning of death in Urdu? What's the word they use? I mentioned this previously. What's the word in Urdu for the death? Intiqal. Intiqal. What's the meaning of intiqal? Muntaqil. Transfer. Like someone mentioned, death is a transfer, right? So if transfer means death, think about that when the child is in mother's womb, he's supposed to do intiqal from mother's womb to this world, right? So can I call that the death happened in the mother's womb and the birth happened, and birth mean just like transfer on this end, death, the transfer from that end, right? Can I call that transfer? I can call death, okay? That again, with that intiqal. Okay, I can call intiqal. Forget about the death. I can call intiqal. Then intiqal happened from mother's womb to this world. Is it good or bad? Good. See, now I'm giving you this pointer because not all of our talk is for the atheist, okay? So you can ask an atheist that, okay, what do you think is death is good or bad? And again, you cannot say that kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut because that's Quran, okay? It doesn't believe in Quran. But you can say that, look, death is total transfer from one place to other place. It's not a destruction. And then you can ask him, hey, this transformation happened from the mother's womb to this world. Do you like that transformer or not? That transformation or not? So again, that this death happened inside. It's just a transfer from the mother's womb, which is good. And we are all happy, right? We're all clapping. It says, mashallah, the child is here, right? So same thing, the death is like death from here, but the birth on the other side, okay? I know they still do not believe the barzakh, but again, we'll just go believe it. Yeah, that, I know that, but they don't believe in afterlife. Again, for that, we have to discuss God first, okay? We have to discussion God. We cannot go do this discussion with atheists until you prove them a God. Because when the God is proven, that God can tell that there is another world, okay? All right, so I think you guys help me that it's evil. What about darkness and diseases? Are these evils? No, then why? Why? So you're saying yes, because it's a what's the darkness? Absence of light. Darkness is absence of light. What's a disease? Absence of health. Yeah, absence of health. See, some people when they answer to these people, they believe in two God. They says, you know, that you're saying shar got created by God. Shar actually doesn't exist. Whatever you see shar, it's either essentially not a shar, like the death. Death is not a shar. Death is not evil. Or it's an absence of a khair. Absence of a khair. Absence of a goodness. That's why there is no existence. Like, can someone say the dark exists? No, dark is an these people are argument. I'm not arguing. I'm not talking to that. I'm talking about. I'm not about these philosophers. They're giving answer to these people. They say darkness is the absence of the light. Disease is the absence of a health. So their second category is that evil that is non-existence and have no existential nature. That's the second one. Now let me ask you this. This is definitely evil, right? Right, guys? Right? This is evil, right? Who's saying this is not evil? All right, there's a question. Someone is helping me now. He's saying, how is disease an absence of health? All right. How's disease an absence of health? Well, like your immune system is powerful. And now your immune system is weak. All right. Evil has existence. We'll talk about this. We'll define evil. Yes. Again, remember that we have to see the end result, right? Again, you said that evil has an existence. From iPhone, I saw that message. We'll talk about that. I'm not saying I'm disagreeing with you, but we'll talk about that. Now let's talk about this snake poison. Is the snake poison is a evil? Well, depending on from which angle you're looking, snake's poison, is it good for a snake or not? Yeah, like you mentioned, self-defense mechanisms, right? It's goodness for a snake. So again, these things, this slide is answering to those people that they were saying that God, how can God create an evil? They were saying, well, you know what, evil doesn't exist. It's either evil that is not, that you're considering death as an evil, but that's not essentially an evil. It's not an evil. You're mistaking by this. You're making a mistake when you're calling death as an evil. Or evil is an absence of a goodness, like darkness. Or evil is in a relative nature. For example, the poison of the snake, that's evil for the man, not for the snake. Not for the snake. For a snake, and not only for the man, you know that, I don't know how many of you have this biology major. You know that by snake, poison of a snake, they make several medicines. These days, they are breeding a snake to get the poison. Yeah, like sleeping pills. I don't know about that. You say, Salman, you may know. I don't know. But I know that they're making several medicine because of this. Okay, several medicine they're making by this. All right. All right, guys. So we categorize the evil. Okay. So first of all, always you say that, all right, show me what is evil, what is not evil. Define evil. Okay. Can you allow me for a minute? And let me just take this call. Okay, please. Let me mute myself, okay, for a second. I'm sorry. It's like I told you that this lady, Iraqi lady passed away in our city, and I was talking with a funeral director about the procedure. So I'm sorry. All right. So all right. Please recite a loud salawat so I can come back to this mode. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad wajjal farajahum. All right. So now that's number one we did. Okay. I hope you're paying attention for these the way I'm attacking this problem. Okay, let me see the chat. Yeah. So again, Ali already mentioned. So I'm going to now go for that. Okay. So let's see. Now we need to look we have to divide. All right. Now, as for the hardship, evil, transgressions, pain, deprivation, death, they can be divided in two categories. Okay, number one is incidents that take place as a result of people's action, such as oppressions and transgressions, murder and plundering that happen. And second, the natural disasters, such as floods, earthquake, drought, and illness. And the proof is this ayah. ظهر الفساد في البر والبحر بما كسبت أيدي الناس. Right? There Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said that corruption has appeared in the land and the sea on account of what the hands of a man have wrought. What people have committed, they have done. Which means right now, majority of the evils we are seeing is because it's a problem created by humans. All right. So again, our original question was, just the existence of evil, does it justify with the justice of God? And there were several questions under that. We says, all right, we're going to attack it by defining the evil. So we categorized the evils, that some of these evil we are thinking are evil, they are not evil. They're relative in nature, or they may not exist as an evil, like death is not an evil, or maybe they are absence of a goodness. That's why that's happening. And then we said, all right, still we see evil in this world, like another brother or someone, sister, the evil exists. All right, yeah, we see that. Again, you cannot deny that this guy is killing George Floyd, or this flood, or this like earthquake, or all these things. Again, we may still debate about whether they are evil or not, but again, people see, all right, there it is. Like murder. Murder is a clear example of the evil. So then we categorize them and says, all right, there are some people, something is done by Mother Nature and other is done by humans. Where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in this ayah, ظهر الفساد في البر والبحر بما كسبت أيدي الناس. Allah is also witnessing that the corruption happened in the land and in the sea because of what people did to this universe. Now, again, my answer is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not stopping human here. All right, your discussion now. Why Allah is not stopping? All right. Let me see, bring the chat. All right, here's chat. Let me minimize it. I am not seeing it. All righty. All right. So Daniel is saying, without evil, there can't be any good. It's a good answer. I like it. But is it? I don't know if everyone like it. So are you saying that killing of? Let me play a devil advocate, right? Um, are you saying that the killing of George Floyd is a good thing? So then this guy, the cop, will say, "Hey, I did a good thing." What you talking about? Hmm. Yeah, I mean, hands of human. But then is it not Allah, Allah, Wallahu ala kulli shay'in qadir, Allah is all powerful? Is it controlling human hands? Is it not possible? Is it not possible for Allah to stop? Oh my God. Let me see. All right. Let me ask you this. How did Allah created human? What's so unique about human? Choice. Very good. Yes, we got created by clay, but by the way, animals are also created by clay. Okay. So, and again, Zainab say Ashraful Makhluqat. Why we are Ashraful Makhluqat? Zainab. We are Ashraful Makhluqat. There is an hadith. The hadith it says that Allah created angels. Are they not Ashraful Makhluqat? They have only intellect. They cannot make any mistake. They are pure. Are they not Ashraful Makhluqat? And then Allah created animals. They have pure instincts, that's all. And then Allah created human. What's so unique about human that can someone help me? Yeah, free will. But what you mean by free will? When do you need free will? These are good answer because Allah graced humans by aql. Yes, these are good things, but it means there are two paths. What are those two paths? Right and wrong, yes. All right, let me give you the technical answer, okay? The technical answer, which is coming from hadith, that God created angels with aql, no shahwat in it, though no desires. And then God created animal with shahwat, no aql in it. The animals, they don't have any intellect. But then God created human with aql and shahwat. Human is a combination of aql, intellect, and shahwat. And since human has this two path, he can go on the path of aql or he can path on the path of shahwat. How many of you remember how many doors of hell we talk about? 7. How many doors of paradise we have? 8. Very good. Now, what was the difference between them? If someone is following all his desires, right, he's going to end up in hell. And if someone is using his intellect to control even his desires, he's going to heaven. So we know there are two paths to goodness and paths to evil. Now here it makes sense that Allah will give me a free will. Can Allah give a free will to, again, in fact, they do have a free will. Angels, they have free will. Not in the sense of that they have this trial, they have to select one path. They have only one path. Okay. On that one path they have free will, kind of. They can do their job and they say, I'm not doing it. But again, they're not gonna do it. Okay. All right. I'm not gonna go in that discussion. All right. I'm not gonna do in that discussion. Yes. So Allah gave us a free will because we have two paths. Path of desires and path of intellect. Now, let me ask you this. If if I will give you, if I will design you with the free will, what's the meaning of free will? Let's say I'm a designer. Okay, let me play for 1 second. Let me play the role of God for 1 second. Okay, forgive me for this thing. I'm designing a human, and I designed this human. His name is Derek Chauvin, like that cop. And I said, all right, I gave you the free will. Gave you free will. He will ask, what's the meaning of the free will? I said, you can choose right or wrong. I'm not going to stop you. He says, promise you're not going to stop me. I says, yeah, promise I'm not going to stop. So I'm the designer. He's my product. Is that cop, that cruel cop. I gave him this, that I gave you a free will. Okay, but I told him that, look, if you do the wrong thing, you go to hellfire. And I'm going to take you to the hellfire. But you have a free will. If you do the good thing, I'm going to take you to the paradise. But you have a free will. Now this guy said, all right, what's the meaning of the free will? I said, I'm not going to interfere. I'm not going to interfere. Until there is a bigger maslahat. Okay? I'm not going to interfere. Now, I gave this cop a free will, and then he's killing George Floyd. Can I stop him right now? If I will stop him, is it not against the free will? He says, hey, you cheated me. You didn't give me a free will. I don't have a free will. You stopped me. You stopped me. So God honored that agreement. All right, I gave you a free will. I'm not going to interfere, but I'm keep warning you, you're going to go to hell. All right, that's one of the answers. That free will of a human, and then is stopping at the same time. Like, all right, I gave you a free will, and I'm stopping you. I'm bringing you a free will. That's going now in a logical impossible. Well, no, Allah can still do it. It's not logical, but again, it's against His wisdom. His wisdom is like saying, well, because I gave him a free will, I'm not gonna. And I told him, I warned him, I'm going to punish him. And if it's a total destruction, then I probably will stop. But George Floyd, he didn't have anything, good deed, but because he's becoming a Muslim, I'm going to take him to the paradise. But isn't that good, George? Do you have an option? You want to go to paradise? He says, yeah, God, I have nothing. I was consuming drug all my life. Just take me to the paradise. All right. But why was evil created in the first place? We're going to discuss this. But now, all right, let me go to the slide. We'll answer these things, guys. So here, some of these people, some of the ulama, they answer this way. The occurrence of the moral, okay, so again, moral evil is the inevitable result of the human freedom. Inevitable, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I gave you free will, human freedom. Free will itself is a khair, it's a greater good. So this way, and again, you know that with the free will, human does so many things, right? So there is a price of that freedom. That's called moral evil. All right, I guess I'm going to stop here because from tomorrow I'm going to take from here and inshallah we'll continue. All right. Do you have any questions so far? Let me see in the chat. Come on, chat, come up. Yeah, here. It's coming down now. Here, chat. Right or wrong, overcome your nafs leads to the outcome of the, yes. Your nafs is the important. You need to control. Again, remember that. Use your intellect. Whenever you're using intellect, controlling your desires, let anything, like your intellect is saying not to watch the soccer field, it's exam time. That's a pure intellect. Intellect is controlling the desires, right? That leads to the success, happiness. All right, guys, if you don't have any question, I'm going to take off. Inshallah, we'll discuss this tomorrow. All right. There's no question. Thank you. Inshallah, I'm going to stop this. All right. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help all of you. Alhamdulillah, I'm very happy that all of you are participating and helping me. Alhamdulillah. And believe me, this will be very beneficial for all of you because you're participating. The people that are not participating, they may not be able to get this much benefit. Because once you participate, you are yourself responding, right? Anyway, so may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give shifa for all the marda. Please remember all those mu'minin and mu'minat. They're sick in India, in Pakistan. There are so many bad news we are getting every day. So please pray for all mu'minin and mu'minat. Especially remember the peoples of Palestine, people of Yemen, all those mu'minin and mu'minat over there. Remember them. Also, may have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have maghfirat for all of our marhumin. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raise their darajat. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase the rizq of all mu'minin and mu'minat. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give sihat, shifa for all mu'minin and mu'minat. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect Ulma Rabbani, Maraja Karam, especially Rahbar Muazzam, and also Hassan the Zahur of our beloved Imam. Rahimallahu man qari al-Fatiha ma'as salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. Jazakallah Rasab. Thank you so much. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase your tawfiqat as well as all the participants who took part in the session tonight, and especially the ones who were very active in their questions and in their answers. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase our knowledge and accept this session and the time that we spend here to learn more and get the marifah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept this as ibadah, as said by the scholars, inshallah. Let's conclude the program with the dua, if the dua Imam Zamana, inshallah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Also, I wanted to actually check with everyone. If you have any questions, just write them down and share the questions with us tomorrow. This is very, very kind of complicated discussion, which can lead towards, good or bad again, in terms of our belief system. So write down the questions, share the questions with us tomorrow again. And if you come across any question, any particular circumstances, any particular situation where you feel that the question may not be very relevant to this discussion, I will strongly urge our youth to ask those questions, so that we make sure that our concepts are clear at the end of the session. And then, we want to make sure that we are not confused at any stage, even after the discussion is over. Okay. Thank you. Jazakallah. Thank you so much. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم كن لوليك حجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا سندا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وصلى الله على